Ashkeepers Legacy is a real tabletop RPG show for adults who choose to never grow up. But that does mean our shenanigans may not be appropriate for younger viewers and listeners. From colorful words to emotional highs and lows to fart and phallic jokes, we will hit it all. So please enjoy responsibly, like coffee or beer or buying dice. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, friends and fellow gamers, to Detention Gaming! Woo! This is episode 23 of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Ashkeepers Legacy. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe with notifications, like this video, share with a fellow adventurer. We greatly appreciate the continued support. So, without further ado, that concludes our announcements. And we're going to recap the events of last session before we dive into tonight's session.
Good.
Last time on Ashkeepers Legacy. What, did I miss something? What happened? What?
David just being David. Good, continue.
Oh, okay. Last time on Ashkeepers Legacy, our heroes enjoyed some downtime in the Grove. You had finished your training montage for the most part.
Training montage.
You spent some of your well-earned coin with some shopping. Kind of ran around, ran a few errands. Armand, you got an eye patch to cover your scarred eye. Tom, you bought a bag of holding and some dwarven cooking utensils. Adora, you got a runic claw tattoo from Serena.
Hell yeah.
And Vivian, you went home and grabbed some gear and had a heart-to-heart with your grandmother.
Yeah.
Check-in.
Because I spent my money healing people, because that bitch took my money.
Shots fired.
I tried to get
And the
back.
recap's crazy. Whoa.
Love you, Melly.
Please come back. Melly, please come back.
God damn. Well,
Jesus Christ.
there's that. Armand, you returned home.
Oh, shit.
Also going to acquire gear for your trip. And you were intercepted by Mercy, the female winter Eleadnor that you share the house with. She's just kind of like a, I don't know what the term is, but she's just kind of a stray that found a home in your home. Y'all grew up together. But you broke the news to her about Hibiscus and how you were crushing on her originally growing up, but you've pledged your love to Hibiscus, and she did not take it well. Shortly after Regena... talking with Regena, the news is out, so your family at large knows, and therefore it is no longer being held a kept secret. Which you were kind of surprised that your mom didn't break the news to anyone else in the house either. So yeah, it's kind of a welcome surprise. But, nonetheless, you acquired the supplies that you needed to, and with a very large to-go travel bag for camping. And proceeded back to the tavern to rendezvous with everybody else, where you all then agreed that you were going to spend the night at Adora's before you set out in the morning on your trip with Eleadnor. And there, you all got crossfaded, enjoyed the night together with a little bit of revelry. Adora, you had a nice moment at the shrine, and you prayed to Iroas after some time. And eventually you all found sleep to prepare for the trip.
And there was only one bed.
other beds in the house. Nobody looked for it.
Yeah. Armand passed out on the floor, very intoxicated / high. Akhenaten, you slept on Armand's bag as a bed, being large enough to do so. And
Bag being large,
Vivian, you climbed into bed with Adora, and you both just slept in that room together. You found rest. You all awaken to a new day, and that is where we resume our story as you prepare for your upcoming mystery journey excursion with Eleadnor, who you assume will be waiting for you within the grove somewhere.
Tom's making breakfast.
You're making breakfast. Those of you who are drinking enough are sufficiently hungover. And those of you who are also smoking, you have this kind of... You got better sleep, but for some reason, the cross-faded nature of both smoking and drinking has left you feeling a bit more groggy.
Drink.
So you just smoke.
I think we
You're feeling rather relaxed.
I think we're.
I had one drink.
That was hella spiked. So you're fucking over. Thanks to Tom.
Tom's probably on
I had.
not hungover because he's just used to it.
I had a joint. I had a hot toddy. I had shrooms. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our mom got fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So some of you are a bit quieter than others as you gather in the morning, and looking outside, there is a perpetual snowfall.
I am
She's making eyes at me.
You should roll.
For what?
Cuddles.
To be fair, you made her roll last time. Oh, it's just cuddles.
Roll for cuddles.
Is
roll
it
for
D20 or
cuddles.
is it a D4?
Whatever, but
It's
even.
It's the even odd, I think.
Okay, you're calling even?
It's even. You got the cuddles!
The dice have spoken.
The dice shift you too.
Yeah.
The dice are
The dice are like, yes. So yeah.
Happy Lesbian Visibility Day.
That's when this is being filmed.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
But yeah. So you wake up on the floor. You're like, "Ugh," kind of your body's sore.
I literally am just like I feel like I'm on my like side, like kind of like halfway, like, and I'm just like trying to push myself up. And
Yeah.
like
You slept on a rug, but it's still a hardwood floor.
yeah, but I'm still like.
But he's
I'm
also
like,
18.
Yeah.
No, nope, that's
Okay.
not happening.
Yeah.
Tom,
Yeah.
what the fuck did you do to me?
Gave you a drink,
And what else?
a joint.
And what else?
You're a lightweight. You'll get.
I thought I was doing pretty okay. This doesn't
Oh.
okay.
I forgot to give you water.
And I like look up and I'm like I glare at him with like my one good eye. You bastard! Hey, take the water. You're making food.
Yeah. No, you were still in the room.
Please tell me it's like stuff with a lot of. Wait, what? I just sit up. Oh shit! Fuck! What?
Don't you dare. Leave
No,
it.
I'm not gonna do anything. I just didn't think that you'd actually do it.
I haven't heard anything.
Finally. I've been waiting for something to happen for weeks.
Weeks?
Nothing happened. But he doesn't know that. Wait. You can't tell me that you don't see it.
Reaches into his pocket, pulls out a little black book. It's got a picture of a ship on it.
It's got a picture of a what?
Oh, of a ship. A ship. A seafaring vessel.
You know, crash your bit. Yeah, I've been keeping track of it for years.
I kind of want to see that.
It's written, probably it's written in Sylvan.
Mm.
Because you know this, you know it.
I can't read it either, so just tell me shit. Come on. Cheese man.
So at that one time I was able to keep Vivian out for a fade party, and it was actually got Adora there. And Vivian, thank you for eyes off her.
Mm.
That doesn't tell me much. Like,
There was a 16. I rolled 16 sure.
I love that this is now an established thing. Quantum has a little black book
With a
that
ship
he
on it.
documents
The ships.
the ships.
Pandy 2.
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Oh my god.
Well,
he
like
write
father, like son.
Did he write his own ships in there?
Was that Pan's book that Quantum now
No.
has, or is this a new book?
Pan's one was red.
Okay.
It was just
Okay.
a red book.
Okay. Cool.
Oh my god.
That's fun. I like it. Cool. Well,
I think that's pretty good.
Okay. So, while they're still, like, in there,
Mm-hmm.
what are we gonna do about that?
Let them be. If you try to push the ship too fast, it's going to sink.
I'm not saying, like, we push them too fast, but I'm just saying we should just, like, get them out of the harbor.
You can't force that. You gotta wait for the tides to be right.
Oh my god, it's all not a
damn, this is great.
Just want to open the door and be like,
It's like going.
The problem is, one is in, like, a fucking whirlpool of, like, something. The other one is just, like, not even going in the right direction.
You'll get there eventually.
And what, we're just supposed to witness that on the shoreline?
You have your own ship to worry about.
Spin tax.
comes over here like, I got a fleet.
Oh my god.
Excuse me, I am a harbor master.
It's the harbor master. Damn. Good shit.
Can we cut to Adora and Vivian, please, before we start? I'm sobbing. You're right.
So meanwhile, both Vivian and Adora, you awaken in the bed, just cuddled up next to one another in the new morning. You look out the window and you see that soft snowfall out of the windows, and it's a quiet morning. You can hear Armand and Akonitum talking, but it's just muffled through a closed door on the wall. Like
Thank God.
it's not like enough to wake you both up. Like you naturally just woke up on a new day, feeling groggy, hungover, maybe sore from training, but you know, nothing out of the ordinary. But yeah.
I think that they'd be snuggled up.
What position are they in?
Okay.
Like,
Big spoon will come.
who's
No.
the big spoon?
Obviously the big spoon.
I don't think it's spooning. I think that's too. I think that if they had like found each other in the night to like snuggle,
Mhm.
it would be like crook. Like
Okay.
it'd be like Adora with like her arm around Vivian in the crook.
Okay.
So I would say that that's how they woke up because I rolled for snuggles and got snuggles.
The dice spoke.
The dice gods
Roll for
won.
snuggles. I think Vivian would be kind of awake, but not wanting to. I don't know, just taking in kind of the moment and like not moving, so still appearing to be asleep, but like
Are you pretending to sleep?
not necessarily pretending. Like her eyes are probably open, but her head's like down.
Okay.
So
I'm probably like dead asleep because of the crossfading.
because of the cross
Because
fading.
of the crossfade. So when I wake up, I've got my arm around Vivian, and I like wake up, and it takes me a minute to like realize that this is how I slept, and I like lift my arm off like respectfully, and I'm like, I am. Good morning. Sorry.
Hmm?
Sorry.
Oh, for what?
I don't know. And I like
sits up.
awkwardly put my hand behind my head. I know that You no reason.
Do you want to get breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast is good.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. So, I open the door. What are you guys doing?
You see them just fucking cracking up in laughter together. Akhenaten is in the kitchen cooking breakfast, whatever breakfast is. What are you cooking?
Something with a lot of fat.
Bacon, eggs. Basically, breakfast burritos to go. I think we're probably going to use to go.
Oh, you are your father's son.
Nice.
Oh, also very white fish, big.
Chipotle burritos.
No,
No, not
no,
not sponsored.
That's what.
no, like
We good.
good, like a good food cart size. The size of a small baby.
Okay. They're demonium.
Demonium
burritos.
size.
I would like to eat the baby.
T-shirt.
Just anytime one of us says something out of pocket, merch?
If anyone wants to make us merch.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's probably the reason why half the things are caused by me.
But these very large, delicious looking loaded breakfast burritos.
Milo stretched it, like touched my foot, and it was very scary for a second.
But you both come out and smell the delicious breakfast food, and everyone is drowsy.
Think
from the night
very
before.
carefully about what you're about to say.
Hey.
Hey.
You sleep okay?
Yup.
Okay.
Okay.
I just like I'm like looking very intently at Adora drinking my water. I go and grab coffee.
Frankie special?
Not this time.
Old fashioned black.
Really quick, while you're all eating breakfast, can you all vote for play of the game from last session?
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
So for you viewers, just so you know, because I don't know if we ever talked about this on stream, but after each session, all the players get to vote for a member of the party, and based on play of the game, or is what we call it, they are awarded a point of heroic inspiration. They can have up to 3 maximum at a time, kind of like Baldur's Gate-esque rules. That way you don't just get stuck with the one and then keep burning the one. You can kind of stack up a few in the moment of need and expend them when you see fit. So yeah, after each session we have everyone vote for who they think got play of the game. And the previous winner cannot win back-to-back, so that way it kind of spreads
And you can't vote
the
for
love.
yourself.
And you cannot vote for yourself.
If we can get enough of you guys in Discord, maybe y'all can vote.
Shameless plug.
Awesome.
No, yeah, hey, I would love that.
I have no shame.
I'm the harbor master.
That's a good one.
Name of the episode.
Yeah.
Harbor Master.
I just make sure the ship is going where you need to go.
Well, congrats, Adora. You won that point of inspiration. I will update the.
That fast?
Mm-hmm.
Cuddles.
Cuddles. No. Rolly. Well, like
For the rollies.
there was only one bed.
So you've maxed out 3 of 3. So the current inspiration
Or honor even.
we
is what it
got
was.
are Akhenaten has 1 of 3, Dora has 3 of 3, Armand has 1 of 3, and then Vivian with 0 of 3.
If it helps, I voted for Vivian last episode. So.
It's all good. Y'all have been doing great. All around the board.
I voted because tattoo.
Tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Tattoo.
These are the best moments overall. Just go here, go here, go here.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So, you consume breakfast. And away you go.
Giant pack. I'm still like kind of like hungover, so it's like I'm not as balanced as I normally would be.
Have one hand on the pack as we walk.
You want? How does it
I feel like
carry
I could
it?
just blow you over.
You want to put some in my bag?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, Armand. Do you need me to carry the heavy stuff?
Fuck no.
You all get
I'm
bundled
fine.
up in your layers and head out into the winter weather and the snow.
Cover
As you are departing out into the grove proper, you actually notice that some festive decor is being put up around the grove as you are approaching a winter solstice holiday. So you see preparations have begun in the grove as people start putting up kind of like banners and colorful things. But the winter solstice celebration involves open bonfires through the longest night on the Sword Coast as you elapse through the winter solstice and the days start getting a little bit lighter. And the night is just drinks, feasting, sitting around bonfires and stargazing. And it's often celebrated more so among Selûnites and those who praise to the goddess of the moon. So it is something that has kind of been adopted into the Warriors' Grove in recent times and kind of brings camaraderie and festivity to the Grove and allows you to celebrate through the harshness and bitterness of winter being in the heartlands of Faerun. So you all kind of notice that the preparations have begun, and by the looks of it, based on what you know of the dates and the calendars and everything, you should be back in time for the celebration. So, yeah. Cool. But you all continue on your path, and eventually you see Eleadnor there and standing in surprisingly not a wild shape. He's kind of just has his large oak wooden staff and is bundled up in layers and pelts and has a backpack himself and stands there with a smile, his long straight elven hair kind of going past the shoulders, his ears pointing out a bit red at the tips. You could tell he's a little bit cold. But he stands there with a smile towards you all, just like, good morning. I see you all are well rested. Just kind of peers at you all a bit.
She throws a beanie on his head.
You throw a beanie on his head and like kind of folds his ears under it. And he's like, well, thank you. Well, are you prepared to begin our journey? We are about a day's hike out from the location that I have chosen for us to make camp.
A day?
Yes.
Where are we going?
We're going to a spot that I had discovered while hunting that I think you all will enjoy.
We want to start chicken breast till Armand starts falling over because a day so that monstrosity and the ray clothing.
I got really excited.
It's good to be prepared.
I keep feeling like there's a catch here.
Well, not a bad one, I'd hope.
Okay.
You've all been working very hard and deserve to get away. He just looks back at you. He just kind of mimics the squinting. He's like,
Let's go.
I'm not an egg. I don't crack. Like, what do you want from me? I'm being honest. Unless you would choose to stay, I can go by myself.
No. I want to come. But
Always so suspicious.
So suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't know gossipers.
Yeah.
since when did you two become chummy?
Yeah, y'all are best friends now? What is happening here?
Let's go.
To be fair, the only one who doesn't like anyone is he doesn't like me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
To be fair, you can be a dick.
And you aren't?
I am not a dick, I'm an asshole. There's a difference.
Okay, then to be fair, you can be an asshole.
Yep.
For those of you who speak or understand Sylvan, Eleadnor turns and begins walking and goes, this is going to be a long trip.
Back and showing. Yep. Usually I get for a few.
He just begins trudging out in the snow with his staff.
I can't remember if
I don't think so.
Nope.
So you travel a good distance, and I like to think that you travel through the heartlands, and you see the swamplands in the distance kind of to the northwest, and you see the distant mountains that poke through dense woodlands further north, and you see the mountain ranges to the south and the open fields kind of to the east, and you see a few settlements of towns that you know exist in the heartlands, and because most of it is kind of a rolling plain that's usually wheat fields in the spring and summer, right now it's blanketed in snow. And you see all manner of different creatures flying above, birds, and you see herds of large herbivore beasts kind of traveling through. You kind of see elk that are kind of passing through the terrain as you travel, and you maybe come across a pack of axe beaks. They're large, like terror bird creatures that kind of stalk these fields and hunt smaller prey animals like possums or mice or moles or things.
Hey, Armand, get you the right one.
Are they big enough for me to ride?
They are big enough for a humanoid, medium-sized humanoid creature to ride. They're about the size of an ostrich.
Otter even.
They are, I will say, akin to an ostrich. They're that size, but they have a large, flattened beak that's like a battle axe at the front of their face. Thus their name.
It's even.
Okay.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
I've never been one to get mine to begin with.
I like to be alive.
Oh, you're scared.
Oh!
Do it! Don't show cowardice!
It's been a minute since we've heard of that.
Yes!
Welcome back.
Otter even.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Odd.
Even.
Mm.
Here's the thing. I'm like holding. I'm like now kind of like off balance a little bit because I'm like holding the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
They're terrifying. Like, you don't have eyes, but like you should see their face.
And you fought lizard dogs and you're scared of a big buzzard?
This buzzard literally is the size of a horse.
All the cooler!
And I really want to get to the campsite. He said it was going to take a day. This is going to be like too much of a distraction. So let's just go. We're going.
It's just been so long since we fought anything. You've just been going around and smoking your ganja and drinking your spiked tea and making out with fair maidens. To be fair, that tea is spectacular.
You
How red are my face?
You just see, like, it just starts like in the center of my nose, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
beet red.
Yeah.
Huh,
It's like-
your face matched my sister's hair.
You okay? I'm fine. Okay, but imagine this. We get to the campsite, we kind of like settle down. We're gonna have to like hunt for food at some point.
Boring! That's survival. I'm talking about greater glory here.
Just let us get to the campsite, alright? And then I'll find you something that's like, look, greater glory shit.
Whoa. Not murderous intent. That seemed very aggressive.
Find us some bandits to fight, okay? Or something.
Agreed.
Okay.
We have an accord.
We have an accord.
For the record, I was keeping my trap shut and letting you find your way. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. And I feel like it's like a kind of like a weird ass like father son.
Oh my god.
Armand, you might want to know.
Is Armand crying at the sword?
I think so.
A single tear just.
I think you need to go wipe it for him.
No. I think Tom does since they're best friends now.
They are.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay.
Shut up! Stop looking at me.
Okay. Continue on your journey through the snow. You go a good distance. I imagine it's very kind of like. I imagine Fellowship when they're going through the like terrain and like going over the landscape. Like there's just flashes of overhead views of the five of you all traversing together through this cold wilderness. And eventually you make your way into a dense woodland and you kind of hike a good distance up some mountains. And eventually in the distance you hear this expelling of waters, kind of this up into the sky. And then you hear another one off in the distance.
Grandpa, what is that?
Geysers.
You will see soon enough. And he
Is that
continues walking up.
whoa. Hot
And-
springs.
Yes, eventually you elapse over this up kind of side mountainous trail to this open plateau that's above the tree line that overlooks the forest. And there's some trees up behind you and more dense woodlands that goes and continues up the mountain. But you see in spots large geysers shooting up into the air and natural hot springs, that bubbling pools, and you kind of smell that like sulfurous gas, earthy gases that kind of encompass the space. But even in proximity, the heat, it comes as relief as you all are fighting this more frigid cold. And he looks at you all and goes, turns around, like, I stumbled upon this while hunting, and I found it to be a peaceful place to retreat to for meditation, to recenter myself, reconnect with nature and the spirits. And I thought it pivotal to share this with you all. There are caves within that hold hot springs as well, and many places for us to set up camp. So
Tommy's already booking it past me. It's warm!
as you're clopping away, he's like, I didn't finish.
He has no respect for the elders.
That is all right. I will be working with each of you individually to finish out your requested training. So I will be pulling each of you aside individually to work on whatever it is you want to work on.
Is there anything we need to keep an eye out for?
I don't know, is there?
I don't know.
I just, we're
Is
gonna be,
there-
like, taking watch for like bandits and stuff.
Are there bandits?
You hear he's like, good question. He goes, I would be grateful if you kept watch, although I do not think that isn't quite necessary. We are removed from most roads and places where bandits and highwaymen like to set up shop, and unless someone else has traversed a day's worth of travel into the dense wilderness, not knowing about this location, I find it very unlikely we are going to encounter anyone outside of possibly maybe a hunter, an outlander, traversing the wilderness, but do whatever makes you feel most comfortable. I assume my wife would tell you to remain vigilant and keep watch through the night, but you are all capable individuals, and I think you can handle yourselves even if I were not here.
I think you can tell, like, she's still just a little on edge, just so used to now being guarded that it's kind of difficult to relax and that it's almost uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just looks around to all of you and is like, take whatever time you need to set up your camp and your
You hear them
provisions.
back up.
Take some lessons.
Dive into this hot spring, and the water is extremely warm and comforting. Yeah.
He's so exhausting.
Your best friend now, right?
No, she's jealous.
Oh.
Are you jealous?
What?
That like he's my buddy. That we're not friends. But like, are you jealous that like you're not my like only like buddy anymore? Really?
Armand.
Mm-hmm. Singular to your
I mean, yes, I'm so jealous.
Okay. So you all set up camp within these hot springs.
I get to work like putting together camp. Like I'll put up tents. I'll do.
I already have like 2 tents set up.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, I'm a pro at this, boy.
Like, I imagine popping shit out of your bag and goes,
like fucking like old school Disney like Disney cartoons. Just
yeah. Mary Poppins, that shit.
while I'm working very hard and putting up one tent.
And it's like crumbling on
Yeah.
one side.
Yeah.
Adora, do you want me to help you like set up your
No!
tent? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm fine. Like, just let me work.
Camel set curls like little like monkeys who sit in a hot tub. Been burning over.
I mean, I got like 2 set up. I think I have like 1 more tent in my bag here. There's also like pelts and blankets.
You know
and
what?
stuff.
You just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Okay? And my tent just like.
Just okay. I'm here though. If you need help.
All right, you can take care of the tents. I will start a fire until I go over and like start
Okay,
a
sick.
fire.
And I like help like pitch up like the last of like the tents.
Mm-hmm. So using your refreshing skills from your recent training, you set up camp. Are you setting up camp inside of the caves? Or are you going to do so outside?
I think
Where would
inside
you want
of
to
the caves
position
where it's
yourself?
Safer.
So
Sulfur.
safer.
Auditory typo.
Mm-hmm.
I try and find a good spot for a hammock.
Okay. In the caverns or outside on the trees? Or...
Outside on the trees.
I think main camp would be in the caves, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You find some trees that are shielded. You're shielded from the winds because of the mountain.
Yeah.
So it's still cold, but you don't have that like gust and gales of like winter wind blowing in from the plains. So yeah. Yeah. You find a good spot. You all set up camp. Akhenaten, while everyone else is setting up camp, you were just enjoying the steaming, bubbling
Having a good time there, lazy bones.
hot tub.
Yep.
Hey.
Or sauna, spring, hot
he's
spring.
probably gonna be the one that feeds us later. So
Just seems a little bit unbalanced of work.
You've never cooked before, have you?
Oh, actually, I've been doing like a lot of cooking with my nana lately.
True.
You gotta help. Doesn't count.
I mean, like I'm useful.
Oh.
I mean, obviously.
Useful killing evildoers.
We will have our time. This is gonna take a few days.
Few days.
I will.
Oh! I thought we had a deal.
We do have a deal. Just be patient.
Oh, the training montage was great, but fuck!
Just be patient. Patience.
Oh, you know what? Hunt with me. I'll be a hunting utensil, sure. Just let me kill something. Please. There's fucking hot springs. You're not going anywhere.
Eleadnor, sir.
Yes.
Is it alright if I like go out and see if I can make like a kill for dinner or something?
Certainly. Are you going alone?
I kind of have a talking sword with me, so not really.
Do as you will.
Okay. I mean, I will be back hopefully with something.
Be careful.
Yes, sir.
No need for such formalities. I'm not my wife. I'm merely your guide.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You continue out into the wilderness. Okay. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Survival.
Survival.
Inspiration.
Okay.
Don't you only have one of those?
Wait, what?
How many inspirations do you have?
That was my only one.
I know.
One and done.
Okay, that's better. 17.
Okay. Can you mark off in the game log that you use that inspiration, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Find some tracks of some creatures.
Creatures.
Yeah.
Creatures?
Woodland beasts and things. You see some much larger tracks, which you avoid. You're not sure what exactly, but
That says no.
yeah. You eventually see what look like in the distance a herd of deer, white-tailed deer, that are making their way through the brush and the trees. One of them's kind of drinking from a stream nearby. It's kind of partially frozen over, but still flowing.
Is there a tree nearby?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're in woodland right now. Forest.
Okay, I am gonna climb up like to like a branch of like the tree and kind of like perch myself like above it, and I take out a stab on him slowly, and I tell him, you shut the fuck up right now.
Make a persuasion or intimidation check for me.
Nat one.
Not one, but a 5 probably.
5. He goes, if my yapping is keeping you from killing a bloody deer, then I need to find a new wielder. You've got this. Be confident. This is a good plan.
At least he's supportive.
And you're there, posted up in the tree, and you're just waiting for the deer to pass beneath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You wait a good moment, and you see the deer moving. They're trotting around, eating, foraging for food, drinking from the stream in the distance. One of them gets close, but does not walk under the tree.
Use a stab on his face.
Okay. You wait a good moment, and you see they begin to kind of like move away from you as you're posted up in this tree.
Like move away, but like still like kind of like underneath. Or...
So you're up above the tree, you're looking down, there's the herd of deer, and they're moving around in that space, and one of them gets a bit close to the tree that you're in,
Okay.
and they begin to move away from you, like heading.
Okay, before they get like too far, I'm gonna like go further out onto the branch,
Okay.
and then as soon as I can see like one of their like shoulder blades of like the nearest of like the closest deer, just immediately like swoop down so I can like impale it like between the shoulder blades, like right through the chest.
Okay, go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me as you go and walk out in the thinner portion of this tree branch. 10. You walk out and it begins to bow a lot. You hear the creaking of the wood behind you, and you get a little scurred, and some snow drops, and their ears perk up, and they look in that direction. Go ahead and make another acrobatics check for me to leap through the air onto the nearest deer.
Ooh, 18.
18. You leap, and as the branch flings up, the deer go to turn, scatter, and flee from this sudden shift in movement, and you go careening through the air, and you just hear, finally! As you go careening down through the sky onto this deer. So go ahead and make a melee attack for me.
14?
14, okay. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall out of the tree onto the ground onto this thing, and you got an 18 to hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Ooh, I'm doing this two-handed.
Yeah. So it's a
D10.
D10.
Yes. 8.
8. You pierce down as you hear the impact and shriek of the animal as you go tumbling into the snow. And you see that stark crimson spray the ground as you withdraw a bloody stab-on from the creature. As you see the deer laying there motionless, it does bleed out in the snow, and you successfully kill it. You just hear it's like, okay, that feels a bit better.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, I'll take what I can get, honestly.
Yeah, it really does feel a bit better.
It's cathartic,
Yeah.
right?
Missed you, buddy.
Well, I've just been here. I've just been respecting your privacy, you know?
Yeah. We're gonna need to like do this more often.
Certainly. I mean, that's what I'm here for, right? Help you on your way. So far, you are Armand, the... What's a title I can give you right now?
Harbor master.
That's Tom's.
That's Tom.
That's Tom. Armand Tree Strider. That's what I'll call you right now, since you like to jump out of the fucking trees.
I fucking like it.
That hurt, didn't it? It looked like it hurt.
A little bit, like, yeah, and like, my shoulder, yeah, that kind of hurt a little bit, not gonna lie, but worth it. Alright, let's get this back to camp.
Well, now the harbor master can cook you up some fresh deer, so...
Please don't call him that, it's gonna just feed his ego.
It's funny!
It's funny, but like, his ego's already so inflated, and I like go and like pick up the deer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, heft it over my shoulder.
And you continue back to camp?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. Coming back to the rest of the group with camp set, what are you doing? You're still in Hot Spring, Maconatone. The two of you, what are you doing?
Blissed
You
out.
found a good place for your hammock.
Yeah.
It's outside, a little more exposed to the elements, but it's... Do you want it higher in the tree?
No.
Okay.
I think low and maybe close enough to where it's like near one of the hot springs, so then she feels like the heat kind of.
Yeah. And I imagine it's close enough to camp that it's kind of like a forward outlook almost, like to the cave entrance where the rest of the party set up
Keeping
camp.
watch almost.
Yeah.
And if she sees her grandpa, just to ask, like, what is it where you're gonna work? He's gonna work on with us.
Okay. You approach him and ask that. Okay. You see he's currently using some subtle druidcraft magic, and he's making this large groove into the ground. That's kind of this receding, kind of almost like dirt bed, and you see he's moving twigs over it to shield from the wind. And he has like some blankets and pelts and things, but you can tell now, being inside of this warmer hot spring, that he has doffed in one of those heavier pelts, and he's just walking around like barefoot in his robes and just very much himself, and
No
kind of
beanie.
sets out, yeah, pretty much. He's not glamping by any means. He loves being out in nature.
Grandpa, was it you who made this place, or was it a natural?
Oh no, this was all nature's doing.
It's beautiful.
I agree.
Can I ask, what is it you plan to work on with us?
Well, that's entirely up to you.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Then perhaps we shall find whatever it is you feel like you need to work on. I've been privy to some information from your grandmother about the goings-on with each of you, and how you fight and how you work together, and some of the issues that you've been dealing with, and I have my work cut out for me with some of the others. I must admit, I don't know either. At least for you. Is there anything that's been weighing on you more so in recent days?
I don't think so.
Anything to keep you out of balance?
13. I don't think so.
He just looks at you with his cunning elven eyes, deep wisdom of an archdruid looking at you. This is only going to work if we are open and honest with one another. You're a warrior. You need to allow your emotions to flow like a river. As soon as you start building dams and trying to alter its flow, the river will always course correct itself.
What if letting those emotions through is what causes the harm in the first place?
Floodwaters always recede in time and can even replenish a landscape. Sometimes the terrain beyond the dam suffers more from drought when that water is blocked. It must remain in balance and perfect harmony with one another.
I've always thought I needed to remain in control.
Well, it's good to assert a level of control, but it's also good to trust in the environment you're in. You asked me when we set up camp if we need to keep watch. I trust that nature will alert us to any danger. There are creatures that come and drink from these springs, and animals that are not akin to having creatures like us roaming around in their territory. That is an example of me relinquishing some control and just trusting the natural world to provide for us. I seek to do the same for you all. However that may look.
Let me think on it.
Please do. And if you need further counsel or questions, I am here.
Thank you.
Of course. He goes back to setting up his space. Dora, what you doing? Now that camp's all figured out.
I think that I'm probably getting ready to go into a hot spring, so undoing my hand wraps,
Showing off that new tattoo.
showing off that new tattoo, undoing my hand wraps, undoing my armor, just getting ready to like relax a bit, I think.
Okay, cool. Quantum, you are still in the spring?
I'm not getting out. I'm the warmest on the material plane I've been for weeks.
Are you peeing in there?
I will find a different hot spring.
That wasn't a no.
Eventually Armand returns and very much like Atreus has like a full fucking deer over the shoulders.
I was like, I got dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was. I jumped out of a tree for it.
Wow. You really like camping.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or sincere. I go to like Grandpa, and I'm just like,
He looks with a smile. Well done.
thanks.
It's a clean kill.
Thank you.
You have not dressed it yet.
No,
Just
I'll do that right now, sir. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. You don't have to. Do whichever you feel like you would do if I were not here. I do not want my presence to sway your decisions. If you are tired after hunting, you should rest. Enjoy the springs. If you're hungry, you will dress this meat and cook it. The decision is yours. And he just smiles and looks back at you. There's no wrong answer.
I feel like, sir, with all due respect, I feel like there is a very wrong answer here.
He laughs. You children have been in structure for far too long. You need to stretch your wings, explore, travel.
Well, I've done that most of my life, sir.
What
Right.
exactly?
I mean, like ever since I can remember, my family would always just travel, like through the spring and summer. Like we would always come back to the Grove for fall and winter because it's home and it's safe and our family's there. But you know what? My mother's always just they let us be free. They didn't have a lot of freedom where they were from, and when they first got here, my mama didn't really have a lot of freedom either. Free, but bound by duty and bound by care. And now she is again, and we're just kind of stuck, and now I'm doing this, and I don't really know what to do with myself.
Just because a bird migrates with its family does not mean it has seen the world. Birds usually migrate to places of significance, like you, from the grove to a home, to another home, to places of comfort, duty, responsibility, their structure. I'm talking about true freedom. Soaring above the clouds into the sky, into the great unknown, discovering new locations, new people, new adventure. There's nothing wrong with finding your own path to walk that is away from loved ones and the sense of security, and you can maintain your duties and responsibilities in return. I think it's important to embrace who you are, but also try to discover more of yourself away from what you know. That's why I've removed you from your element, your place of comfort, your everyday. Someplace new, exciting, full of mystery and intrigue, and hopefully being here can help each of you understand yourselves a bit better. At least that's my intention, having brought you here.
You say that, and I don't know. I think that just makes me. And I like sit down and I go to like skin the deer.
Mm-hmm. It's like, it's quite alright to feel uncomfortable about the circumstance.
It's not uncomfortable, sir. It's just more. And as I'm like skinning the deer, I'm talking. I'm like, my mother's let me get away with a lot of shit growing up. You know, there's this kind of like stigma of like the oldest boy. And it's true. Like I got away with so much shit. So in a lot of ways, I did have true freedom, at least more freedom than like the rest of my siblings ever had. And that freedom nearly got my brother killed. And I don't know, I feel like I need. It's not that I want the discipline, but I feel like I need the discipline because without that freedom, I don't know who I am, and that kind of terrifies me. But with that freedom, I make really stupid choices, and I would much rather. I would do anything than let that happen again. Freedom makes me stupid, sir. At least right now.
He smiles and looks back at you. Is it the fear of stupidity or fear of failure that keeps you from from being free? There's a lesson in either.
Failure. I mean, you know who my mothers are.
I do. We're alike in a lot of ways. I've commanded forces before, defended refuges within nature from outsiders. There was a time I would not even tolerate conversation with an outsider. I would rather kill them. Our home was closed out. I've had to make some very tough decisions in my time, and from these failures, I've gained much wisdom and understanding of how the world works and how I was wrong at the time, and how some of the greatest folk I know are not of my people. And I've made some very real, long-lasting mistakes, and I've driven those I've considered my kin away from me due to neglects and focusing on other matters. And I hope to rekindle some of those relationships in time. But that is me accepting my failures and trying to learn from them and be better.
And I think had I remained in that setting and kept doing what I thought best for my people, they too would have suffered from my decisions and my fear of failing them. I would not be here today to help you. So my advice is try to embrace the uncomfortable nature of us being here. And if it does not work, then return to your ways. This is merely another lesson. You do not have to accept it, or my ideals, or my lens in which I see through the natural world. So, your mothers are influential, powerful figureheads in both the Grove and the Guild, and back where they call home, their homeland. Yolanda has told me about how she intended for you to follow and lead. I'm here to find your intentions for the future, if that's what you want. It's your decision. You don't need to follow your flock if the winds are pushing you in other directions. You're free to fly where you wish. This is your life. I'm merely here to just help you guide yourself down whichever path you see fit. There's no wrong decision. And he just looks back, saying the same thing again with a smile. What's meant to be will be.
Thank you.
No thanks necessary. He just smiles and looks back at you.
How did I do?
Looks down at the dressing of the deer. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Fuck.
Looks like
It's destroyed.
Ooh, me.
Ooh, fuck. Yeah, 21.
It looks well done. And the pelt intact. Impressive.
Thanks.
And you hear his stomach kind of grumble a bit. He's like, I'm sure it will be delicious.
It should be. Tom!
Yeah.
Make yourself useful and cook dinner.
He's smoking. Throw a fucking cigarette. As you throw the cigarette into the nearby cave floor, you see Eleadnor look back with an eyebrow deeply offended at what he thinks is a very sacred place. And he produces flame and ignites the butt on fire as a plume of smoke rises up into the sky. He's just like, right. And he goes back to doing what he was doing.
Alright, now that that's done, I think I'm gonna relax a little.
Yeah. Okay. A conatone. You gonna cook?
Yep. Just get out.
Mm-hmm.
But naked.
Butt ass naked? Oh, God. Seriously,
Is there echo in here? Butt ass naked.
If you
I
get
don't know,
puked in my food,
eye!
I'm gonna be pissed.
Bro, he's all fumes. He's a satyr.
Oh, fuck.
That's interesting to think about. The more you know.
The more you know.
So go ahead and make a. This will be, I think, survival for cooking utensils? Or you
Yep.
have what, advantage because you have the
Advantage because I am
tools?
proficient in cooking tools.
Yes, nice.
God.
That's 20.
Wow.
So, using the venison or the deer meat, what do you cook up for the party?
Leg, ribs,
Okay.
rump roast.
Nice. Cool.
Did you put a net on that thing?
Oh my
Like,
God.
you put it-
Go back on.
What?
Like a hairnet.
The lower half of his body is all hair. So what would that do?
I don't know, but at least that part would be safe.
Protect the jewels!
Okay. Sure.
He put his guilt back on.
He did?
Oh my god. He wasn't cooking, nigga.
Some fucking guilt.
I didn't hear that part.
You're laughing, Joey.
Oh my god.
Thinking about
He's not shaking his ass over the deer meat.
No,
Like,
it's
he's
not
not like,
his ass I'm
"Ooh."
worried about.
Love D&D.
With a natural 20, you successfully cook the delicious meal of deer meat for the party. No pubes involved. But the sense of fresh seasonings and sauce and anything else you use with the meat. Why is that funny?
Seasoning.
The seasoning? It's not pubes! Why is that funny? You lost your fucking minds?
Can't believe you never had.
We're okay.
I'm cool.
Are you?
I'm cool.
Good?
Yeah.
We're okay.
It's 2
I'm
o'clock.
gonna stop describing deer meat and move on.
I think that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so you all enjoy this food, eat dinner together, and, you know, have some drinks, share some laughs, and we're gonna go to break. So, after break, go ahead and take care of yourselves, grab some snacks, hydrate, do what you gotta do, enjoy the break. We'll be back here shortly, so stay tuned.
Jesus Christ!
And we are back from break. So, welcome back. So you all had made camp. Tom just cooked some food. You had eaten dinner, and you are going to bed down for the evening to get some rest for the new day to come. And occasionally you hear the geysers outside, and there's there's just kind of this warmth coming from the hot springs and the geysers in this general area, especially in this cave, that you don't really feel the frigidness of the cold outside. However, now that night has fallen outside it is fairly cold. So spending extended amounts of time, you may need to make checks against the frigid cold of winter outside.
What's the moon like?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Please no. Please no.
Not in the nice happy
7.
place.
7, okay. Looking around into the sky, you don't get much cloud clearance to look out into the moon, and then you spot a shimmer of moonlight, and you look out. Do me a favor and go ahead and roll on your moon die for me.
God damn it.
Uh-oh.
Are you kidding?
Guys, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'll be back.
Why?
Okay.
The
Perception.
full moon?
Perception.
No.
Perception. Insight. What the fuck?
Go ahead and make perception or
Tell me you
insight
don't have-
checks for me.
Do you step on your own? And that one.
I got
Okay.
a 6.
I got a 16.
Two of you don't think twice about it. It's like Tom, he's doing his thing. Adora, you hear in Akhenaten's voice that, that bestial kind of growl.
Going for a walk.
Are you good?
We'll be.
You see Eleadnor kind of walks up on your against your shoulder and is like, "Please remain here at camp. I will see that he does not get into any danger." And Tom, you take off. And Eleadnor is tailing you, but at a distance. He wants you to know he's there, but is giving you the space you need. Do me a favor and roll your moon dice as you feel your body kind of as you begin to shift.
Hey, that's it. So I'm going away.
But to him,
I'll be fine.
will you?
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
I trust him.
What is this one?
That's the
Half moon.
half moon.
Yeah, well, I've got new moon, fresh moon. Waning, waxing, crescent, first, third quarter, waxing, waning, give us full moon.
So what did you get? Sorry.
Yeah, I got 2 of these.
Okay.
2 half moons.
2 half moons.
2 half moons, which
Equals
gives you
full
what during your beast?
I don't know, because no half moons on here.
What is a half moon called?
It is a
Half
First
moon?
quarter moon or last quarter moon?
Okay, so in that case, I get keen here, hearing and smell, and snow camouflage.
Okay. As you shift into your beast form, as you shed your physical form for your hybrid form, you notice that the fur is like a deep white to match the snowy terrain. And your senses are so heightened, you hear everything. You hear the trickle of bubbling of nearby geysers, and then in a nearby tree, you can hear what sound like nesting squirrels inside of the tree. And your sense, you smell the snow, you can smell the blood trail from when Armand brought the deer into the cave. And before you know it, your ears perk up and your eyes focus, and you just kind of feel that this adrenaline spiking through your system as you go and just take off into the nearby wilderness and disappear into the trees as you're crashing through the branches, making your way through these dense forested snowscape. And you're going through the snow and you begin hearing other animals and birds begin flying out in the nearby trees, and you feel your vision feels very tunneled. Your senses are heightened, but your vision feels blurry and you feel very tunnel visioned in front of you. But your heightened senses make up for that as you hear things around you in your periphery. You react to things and noises and scents. You sniff the air and you smell a strong scent approaching. And when you look across the way, you see standing in the snow beyond you this large wolven form that is probably a size category larger than you. This large dire wolf. It sniffs you and moves in. Its shoulders tower over you. And unlike you in your hybrid, more humanoid-esque wolven form, it kind of stalks over you, has this dark kind of like brown fur, shaggy dog, kind of twisted knots, but it's like this large wolf, as dire wolf. So you see the large wolf face and the ears kind of, one stays up, perked up, and the other one kind of flops over and droops down the side of the head, and just the massive fangs and the teeth that this thing could take one of your arms off if it wanted to. And just kind of, and he just kind of sniffs you, and there's kind of this standoff moment, being more canine. What do you do?
Oh shit.
Oh, he's sure. And he's hungry. And that looks pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb fuck.
Huh!
Nat ones.
Yeah, advantage.
2 of them.
Whoa! You feel the adrenaline just.
Inspiration?
And it comes closer. You could burn inspiration if you want to.
How think it's worth it right now?
Okay.
Are you serious?
Once?
With the dire wolf?
As you go to.
I'm raging.
You are raging. As you are lunging out towards this creature, before you can even leave the ground, he gets on top of you and pins you into the ground, and your head is in its open fangs, and the drool kind of drips over your face as you're on the ground.
Second attack.
Yeah, you are pinned,
God.
so it would be a straight roll.
Dang it. Over that 20. Nope. Offhand attack. 15.
15, you managed to go up and scratch. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage for that.
You know.
Look like crap.
See? This is why you shouldn't have done that.
3 damage.
3 damage. You reach up and scratch, and this creature has you pinned, paws on your chest and like around your chest, like you are pressed into the snow, just bearing its fangs over you. And as you reach up and claw at it, it just kind of like takes the claw mark. You see the blood dripping down its arm or its paw, its leg, and you see it just step back and removes the paw off of you slowly as you're there, just and you feel this moment of kind of confusion as the creature gets off of you and lets you move in the snow as it begins to back up. Not in submission, but in recognition. Hear my voice.
Fucking hell.
Embrace it. And just howls out to the moon above as you see it backs up and gives you some space as you kind of hear that voice of Eleadnor in his wild shape.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Embrace it. There's this moment of clarity as your tunnel vision kind of opens up a bit more. And you feel the urges to hunt and the hunger. You can smell that fresh deer meat back at camp from here. But you also can smell the scent of deer nearby, matching that scent. And you see him just move alongside you at a distance, and you see the glowing green eyes of this dire wolf looking back at you. What do you do?
What's the closest thing to me that looks edible?
Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage because you have keen senses right now from your
Not 20.
nat 20. You snap to and you sniff the air and you smell fresh blood of something nearby. You smell more deer blood in the distance. And you hear and then you hear this at a distance, and it sounds like a bear.
That's not worth fighting for free. That's going to be your target. Goes after the
After deer,
wounded.
yeah, you take off into the woodlands, and as you're racing through and going through the snow, and you feel your vision going wider and wider and wider, and like your senses are overwhelming you as you're picking up everything. And alongside you, you see the large direwolf wild shape keeping pace with you as you are both, as you're running side by side together, and you come out to this clearing over this ridge where the trees break off, and in the distance down below you see what looks like a herd of elk that are out kind of in this clearing down from this ridge line. And you see him just kind of look towards you, and you hear his voice once more. He's like, "You're doing well. Embrace the urges. You and the beast are the same."
I have a talk with the old man. This is over. That's not what he needs to do. But he does go after Keith Hunt.
Mm-hmm. So you go running down to give chase towards these animals, these prey items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you doing so stealthily, or are you going to just run at them? If you're doing so stealthy, you have advantage from the snow camouflage.
Alright. 18.
18, alright. Yeah, you approach through the snow, and now that you're so focused and quiet and in tune, you've controlled your breathing and your heartbeat. You can hear it still, but you feel much more in control. But that instinct to just, this is hunting, but you feel that urge to just slaughter this herd. And you see the elk kind of sniff the air and look up. And on the other side, you see Eleadnor stealthing and poking up through the snow. And he leaps out of the snow and gets the herd running in your direction, hunting with you as you lie in wait. The elk do not know you are there. What do you do?
Surprise, bitch.
Surprise. But you thought you seen the last of me.
22 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
You're going away.
Oh.
6 damage.
Okay. You lunge up out of the snow with your kind of more whitish tinged fur, just out of the snowbank, just and you slash. You see the crimson spray of one of the elk as it goes tumbling over you, and you kind of like catch it and dig your claws into it as you go spiraling into the snow, and it hits the ground and gets back up to continue to run, and you have your claw digging into it as you kind of break away from it, and you keep running and you're keeping peace with it.
Second attack is going to be 16 to hit.
16. You successfully swipe, catching some of the leg, tumbling the creature once more for
There we go. 10 damage.
10 damage. Yeah, how do you do it? How do you take it down?
Go for his throat.
Get the back leg, it tumbles again, and as you lunge through the air right for the neck, you bite down and claw into it and tear the throat out and successfully make a kill. The rest of the elk continue running.
Are any more like within striking range as you're running away?
This one kind of, because you hit it initially, slowed it down, broke it away from the rest of the herd as the herd ran off and Eleadnor was giving chase, but you see he stopped and has doubled back, seeing that you've bagged one.
Yeah, he's just
Just starts eating it. Yeah. You begin eating it, Eleadnor approaches and he just sits and watches you as you do your thing, just keeping a watchful gaze over you, and does not impede on your kill, allowing you to eat your fill from it. And he speaks.
I understand your Fang nature is combative with your innate instincts, and you are no mere shape changer like other lycanthropes. But when it comes to embracing the beast within, you must let it out of the cage every so often, if you wish to better harmonize with it. You and it are one and the same, but also very different.
It's too busy eating too much.
Yeah. And even though you assume that, like, this lecture, you may not even remember it as far as he knows, he's there to support you, and has, as a archdruid and a being that also shape changes into beasts, that deep bestial instinct and connection that comes with being so in tune with nature, that's very different from everyone else. So he allows you to eat your fill, and as you finish your fill,
Yeah, he's not full.
he's not full, and he looks at you and goes,
Shall we continue?
and you feel enough sentience to respond verbally, if you wish. will say this is probably the first time that you felt in control of this since it has ever happened to you. For the first time, you feel like you are not a passenger on this ride.
You need to mind because you do not understand it at all. Book off.
As you book off, he sees you run a good distance, but then he takes off after you, maintaining a much further distance from you, but still follows as you go to continue to hunt and feed and get your fill until the night trudges on long enough that you collapse from exhaustion, pushing your body to the limit. But before unconsciousness takes you, as your form shifts in the snow, your body warm, it's almost melting snow around you. You smell the familiar scent of the direwolf approaching you, and you feel the nap of your collar get picked up like a pup as the ground beneath you, as your vision begins to blur from passing out, begins to just kind of, your fingertips and hooves just drag along in the snow as you are being ushered off elsewhere. And there is, even though you are tired, you know it's him, and you know he's taking care of you. The rest of you back at camp wait with worry, and eventually you see the large dire wolf approaching with a conatum.
Would I
Unconscious.
recognize this form or no?
I think I've been
Yeah.
pacing since waking up.
But yeah, you see your grandfather with the conatum in his jaws just kind of like drops him down near one of the hot springs, and he's covered in blood from fresh kills. And probably wounded in some places from creatures defending themselves. But he sets you down and just kind of walks over and he licks his arm where you scratched him initially. And you see, using some druid spell slots to heal himself in the wild shape as you watch as the flesh just kind of mends itself. And then you watch as he, and the fur just kind of goes off with the breeze. And he sheds his form, his wild shape, as he sits with a smile, content, looking over at Tom, who is just passed out on the floor on a bedroll.
Is he alright?
Oh yes, he's just tired. He pushed himself to his limit. He did what he needed to do.
I grabbed one of my pelts and I rested on top of him, thinking he'll eventually get colder.
He has extraordinary gifts. He just needs time and distance to better develop them.
I just want him to feel okay with them and not always be so worried.
At least he had enough sense to leave first.
I think you're a bit hard on him.
I'm glad he did leave. If he continues to run from this, it's only going to get worse. Had he remained in the cave, however, he would not have stepped into the full moon's light, and he would have been fine.
But that's hiding away forever.
Which is why I'm glad he went. There's something more to this than a simple lycanthropy.
What do you mean?
His changing is different than what I've encountered in my time. It's potent, but it's something fey about him that eludes me. He showed a level of intelligence beyond that of a simple beast. He had a insatiable bloodlust.
Forget, out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it Lily who told Vivian or someone told them that it was, or no, I made like a check that it was like something close to my lineage of like Mogus.
Something about your uncle.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a...
Yeah, Lily spoke on your uncle and talked about how the lycanthropy was a bit more intense and it's a
Demon-like?
different strand to it. There was darker forces that had exaggerated the lycanthropy in your uncle. In stories that you know, he was a werewolf, but he was also tied with dark magic and dark deities.
Got
That
it.
kind of corrupted him more, and yes, it made him stronger, but it did affect his lycanthropy.
Yeah.
And Lily told you that her and Pan had some like, as a family, had, not like specifically who, but them as a family had some lineage that goes back into the Winter Court, which is just darker Fey blood that Akhenaten shares with them. Who you're not sure, but
Okay.
it seems to make Akhenaten's lycanthropy a bit more unique.
I don't think she talks about that part.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't, like, she knows Armand is already on edge with the whole situation, and it's also not hers to really...
Yeah.
Discuss.
Yeah.
So, but wanting to learn more, I think we'll find someone to talk to later on about it.
Yeah. But eventually, due to just being tired, you all find rest, and a new day dawns. Another morning, you hear the of geysers going off nearby, and you hear the wind of outside, and the wind passing through the trees, and you actually hear some distant songbirds in nature, and it's that morning kind of symphony of the forest, like waking up on another kind of cold day. And
I think this time I'm in the hot spring.
okay, yeah,
Trying to relax and just not fully being able to.
Ken wakes up in the morning, he's covered in blood, goes and finds the farthest hatchling away from everybody.
Yeah.
Just goes and cleans her off.
okay. Cool. Yeah, you go do that. Eleadnor eventually awakes from his elven trance and just opens his eyes with a smile in a meditative state. Just kind of stretches a bit. It's a bit stiff and walks over to you all. Like, good morning. How are we all?
Wishing I was still asleep.
Fine, I guess.
Too much excitement for one night?
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I think a little concerned, but I think it looks like everyone's alright. So,
Well, I for one pity your foes. To face such an adversary in the field would be quite terrifying.
yeah.
Whom would like to go next? A little one-on-one counsel.
I think Adora.
I've worked with Akhenaten. I consider our work established for this trip.
Adora, I volunteer you.
What?
I'm in the water. I don't want to get out.
I like glance at Vivian.
What?
Do you want to go?
I still don't know what to work on.
Neither do I.
I have some ideas for you all, if you're willing to trust the process.
You can go.
All right. I'll go.
Very well. Rest of you enjoy your time. We will be back soon. If you should need, I should not be too far away. I have very keen hearing.
And he wanders off with you. He finds a offshoot, a root of the cavern that goes down into this nice cave. It's kind of very quaint and kind of removed from everybody else. And you see there's like stacked wood already prepared. And you see that he goes and pulls out this jar. And he opens the jar. And he's like, simply sit in front if you would not mind. Just sit comfortably. And he begins to pour out the ash and then encircles this space that you're sitting in together.
I said,
Okay. He looks at you and just goes. And he sits across from you, right next to you, next to all the wood and everything. So he waits to close the circle with the ash until he steps in, and then he finishes pouring and sets the jar outside the circle and sits with you. He goes, this circle we are enclosed in is ash from the pyre back in the grove that I've collected. Now I understand that you are struggling with some visions in which you would seek better understanding for.
yes.
It seems, from what I've heard, that there's a running theme with fire, so I figured we would go through a simple flame ritual among my druidic culture and see if we can't better help you either A, control or understand where these visions are stemming from, and if you can't tap into it yourself and not simply just be a spectator whenever they are triggered. If you are comfortable with this,
Yes.
I find it helpful to have some kind of totem or anchor object when I use divination magics. So, do you have an item that is connected to your visions, or something of great arcaically charged, or anything that you may have that can help you with this?
Instinctively, I go for my stone, and I realize that it's not there.
Oh, shit.
But instead, in the pocket that I usually keep it in, I pull out the phoenix feather
Yeah,
from
you remember.
the fire.
You remember.
Good shot.
I didn't.
And as you hold it, it's warm. It's innately warm always. It's just kind of the magic of it. And he smiles and looks good. And his eyes open, he speaks in Sylvan. He ignites flame in his hand. And he moves it over under the fire and catches some kindling of flame as you feel the fire catching next to you in the space. And you just sit there and it's like, do whatever you need to do to best relax. For me, I like to close my eyes, deep breathing. It's different for everyone. And he sits there from you and just takes some deep breaths and closes his eyes. You hear the crackling of wood and the fire warmth and like the light through your eyelids like shining against you both. And he sits there across from you. It's important when trying to activate any arcane incantation, at least for me. I need to focus on the source or the tinder for the spark to catch, for the flame to flourish from. So I need you to find the source of your flame. Think in your mind. Think of something. Anything. What's something that's important to you? What's something you feel passionately about? What's something that troubles you? It could be anything. Just find something to focus on in this silence. And when you have it, let me know.
I have it.
Out of curiosity for the viewers, what is Adora thinking of?
I think that initially she sees the Hydra, and in her moment of like fear and panic, it like swaps and it becomes this cliffside over a beach. And she's much shorter, much younger, and there's kids playing on the beach. And she's just focused on this purple hair that is running away. And she's chasing it.
Okay. You smile after you say that you have it. And when you're in this moment, you kind of feel this... It's weird. You kind of... It's like when you're having, like, when a vision happens, like you feel yourself getting closer to that feeling of the out-of-body.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're projecting yourself, kind of almost out-of-body experience. You're like there, like you can kind of feel it almost happening, but then it doesn't happen, and you're like really struggling with it.
And he goes, good. Since you have it, focus on it. And now that we have a source, we must create a spark for that flame to ignite upon what is your source. So I need you to think about whatever it is you're thinking about. Why does it matter? Why is it important? What are the emotions behind it? Let that fuel your ability so we can light this fire and see where it goes.
So I think as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm seeing like basically my life and like our friendship and it grow and it like become this thing that becomes this big moment of my life. And it's fighting with this anger and hurt and passionate fire of like not confusion but like at odds with each other. So it's just emotion. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just raw emotion of that's all centered on one thing, on one person. Your face.
I'm also looking at
You're-
Ollie's writing.
You're like very focused, you're very relaxed, and you're letting that emotion, you're focusing on why it's important and everything, you're really paying attention to his words. And your vision and everything, you begin to smell the fire nearby and like the smoke kind of, you get a good whiff of smoke, maybe too much, but then you're not coughing, it doesn't hurt. There's this, your eyelids, the fire that's nearby you, it's that normal tinge-ish of orange. And then you watch as through your eyelids and you're focusing in the darkness and the voice and the echoing, the crackling of the fire, it gets much darker. And you begin to see with the crackle of wood and the flames that there's spurts of blue coming through. And you feel the warmth of the feather in your hand, but you do not feel it in your hand anymore. But you're still focused. It's there. You don't feel it, but you're still yourself, but you're getting somewhere. He speaks out and he goes, Eleadnor, for this spark to flourish, we need to provide air for it to breathe into a proper flame. I need you to process these emotions, embrace them, however you see fit. In your mind, be it a mental embrace, a physical embrace, I need you to express these emotions, accept them, to push past the threshold so we can get you where you need to be able to perceive beyond your own self.
think instinctively, my first hand, I pull one hand out, and it goes on top of my palm where the magical tattoo X sits.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let myself feel. And as that happens, tears just run from my eyes down my cheeks, silently, as I just think. And I'm thinking about Sandra, I'm thinking about growing up, I'm thinking about laughing and tackling each other in the house and playing and teasing each other and all the things that as sisters we did growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about the last time I saw her before we left on that hunt, and her knowing something was wrong and just trying to make me feel better. And as that happens, and I feel that the anger and the fear come, because it's like as I watch her walk out that door, I know it's gonna happen, and I want to stop her and I can't, and that starts to like choke me. And as that happens, I take my hand off the X, and I flip my arm over to where my other arm over to where the I forget what this is called. The like greaves, not greaves.
Bracers?
Bracers.
Yeah.
The bracer is. And under the bracer, there's an armband that is barely visible. And I touch it. And as I touch that, I take in a deep breath. And it's like I back up back into the house, and Sandra's in there. And I keep backing up, and I'm replaying everything that led up to that moment, the good and the bad, until it's just good. And it's just happy, and it's just safe. And I'm holding on to that moment like it's the last time I'm gonna get to hold on to it. But it's reminding me of the good that happened when all I've seen for so long is the pain and the hurt that followed it.
You do this and you feel your body almost go numb, and that orangish flame outside has gone dark, and your vision kind of begins to go, and in your mind you just hear this like, it's like flint and steel, like fire starter, and you suddenly are consumed in your mind of bright burning flames, and it's overwhelming. You hear many memories of Xandra floating around you, of your family, of Vivian, of the friends and family you have in Theros and everything, and it's very overwhelming and it's painful, and you feel like you're on fire, like you feel your body beginning to overheat. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh.
Inspiration.
Hey!
Would you believe inspiration?
Would you believe it wasn't that one?
Oh no!
Okay. Whew.
It's like,
And then go ahead and put that in the game log for me.
Yeah,
too, that
I
you
will.
used, inspiration.
What'd you get now?
Fucking shit.
It was an 18 plus, I think it's a 5.
Yes, 23.
Yeah, 23.
Damn.
As you are focusing on this, the flames, the blue flames, you open your eyes and you just see the flames around you. There's just blue flames as far as you can see. And as you walk in this voidless space, you're walking, and you hear something, and across the way in this empty, flat space, like you're walking on a surface that's just dark. There's no walls, there's no ceiling. There's just spots of blue flame burning in areas around you, and you're walking through past these fires, and the heat's intense, but you've cooled enough. You're passing through the fire, and Eleadnor, you hear his voice while you're in this space.
It's just like,
It's going to hurt. Fire in nature is a destructive force, but it also can provide healing to torn landscapes. A forest can grow back stronger than it was prior to a wildfire. Let yourself burn and be consumed by the flames. You can weather this storm.
And as you're walking forward, you see something. It's a small something in the flames, and it's encompassed by the flames. And you're walking closer to it. And as you're looking through the flames, you can't quite make out what it is, but something about it, you feel whatever this is, and you are pulled towards it. And as you go towards the flames, it's really hot, and you're like near burning yourself. But you hear his voice again, and you're just like,
Embrace it. Let the fire breathe. You started this. You can control it.
and it's this like out-of-body voice echoing in your mind. What do?
I reach for it.
You reach out for the flames and just you feel the fire and it's burning you really bad, and you feel it running up your body onto your clothes and everything, and you soon are engulfed in these flames, but you're not burning. You're engulfed by it. You can't breathe. You feel like you're inhaling too much smoke, but you're fine. And you reach into this fire, and as you find something, you feel something soft in the flames, and you pick it up. And as you bring it out of this burning pyre, looking at it, you see feathers. And you see this small bird-like creature who's just looking back at you, burning like a sun in your hands, blue flame. This small, feathered bird that's just staring up at you with bright blue flaming eyes, with weakened chirps in your hands. And you hear in your mind a familiar voice you heard once in your visions. Help me. And before you can process it more, you feel the fire just, everything gets shut out, like all the oxygen in the room closes, and like a lid over an open fire, it's extinguished, and you wake up and you're sweating, and you are holding that feather that was once red is now blue in your hand, and you're just staring at it. And Eleadnor looks back at you with a smile and just puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, stop!
Well done. I don't know what you've done, but you tapped into whatever it is, whatever it was that I believe you may have a connection with.
I think so. Whatever it is, it needs help.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for bearing with the long lessons. But we will resume next time. Thank you all so much for watching, and farewell, friends.